Hey guys, what's up? So today I figured we'd do a little bit of a discussion for anyone who's looking to get into Game Boy Advance games but don't know some good options to get into. I thought I'd make some recommendations today. So first up, let me just set this down for a minute. Alright guys, so most of you know I'm a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho. Well, for Yu Yu Hakusho, they released 2 games for the GBA. The first one is Yu Yu Hakusho Spirit Detective. Now some of these are a little tricky to find, but if you can pick them up and you're a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho or of anime in general, this one's not bad. But honestly, the second one they released, which is Tournament Tactics, is way, way better. Apologize for the blur, guys. Now, those would be 2 I would for sure recommend. But I've got some others too for today's video. And among them are the Duel Masters games. If you're into card game style video games, then these games are actually a really good choice. I also have some Yu-Gi-Oh ones I'm going to recommend. So first off, the Duel Master games. There's 2 of them, and it's a series. The first one in the series, because the Yu Yu Hakusho games were a series too, but these are too. First one in the series is Duel Masters, Kijudo Masters. Again, some of these might be a little tricky to find, but if you can and you're interested, I highly recommend them. Especially if you're into like card game based video games. These are actually really good. They have a really good story. Another one is the second one in the series, which is Shadow Code. Duel Masters Shadow Code. I do recommend those for sure. They are really good. I'm actually currently playing through Kijudo Masters again right now. And I'm remembering why I loved it. Because for any of you who haven't played older games like this, one of the reasons everybody loves them is they're challenging. They do require you to think outside the box, be a little creative and strategic. So they did kind of bring a challenge to the table. And a lot of them, while the graphics weren't great, the stories were really, really good. And that was something we all kind of enjoyed about them. Now, for the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, I got 2 as well. Bear with me because this one I cannot pronounce. I'm going to try to show it to y'all while the car is not moving. It is Yugioh. I believe it's pronounced reshef of darkness. Not entirely certain. I apologize, guys. I do. But I'll leave a list of these in the description for y'all to definitely try. Now, the last one I got today for y'all, which is definitely recommended because I'm actually playing through it as well right now, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred Cards. It's actually, if you're wanting an easier Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on the GBA, Sacred Cards is fairly easy if you can figure out the mechanics. It's not that hard. I actually really enjoy it. Now, if you're wanting a more challenging one, the first one I mentioned is definitely the one I would recommend because you're going to get more of a challenge out of it. Now, I do have some others. I don't have them with me, but I do have some others I'd recommend. First off, Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 1 and 2. They're going to be tricky to find, but if you can and you love a good challenging Dragon Ball game that you can take on the go, graphics are not that great, but the games are good and they're fairly true to the story, actually. Legacy of Goku 1 takes place during the Saiyan and Frieza saga. Legacy of Goku 2 is during the Android Cell saga. They're both really good games. I would highly recommend them. The others would be Shaman King, Master of Spirits 1 and 2. Believe it or not, they actually made another Shaman King game besides these for the Game Boy. I'm not entirely certain what it's called. I used to have it. I don't anymore. Those two games are great. Also, if you're looking for good GBA games, there's Final Fantasy IV is a good one as well for the Game Boy Advance. Another one I would heavily recommend is the Megaman Battle Network series. That being said, they are fixing to re-release it for the Switch and the PS4. I actually have both copies pre-ordered because I'm a big Battle Network fan. I love Mega Man. I grew up on it, so I'm actually excited about that. Now, that being said, those are my recommendations for the Game Boy Advance. If you're looking for some good games to get into, there are tons others. There's Pokemon Leaf Green, Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Ruby. All good choices. I'm not going to say they're not. There's tons more. Like, funny enough, the older game genres, while the games are more hard and they require more grinding to build up levels and stuff, they are a lot of fun. I've actually gotten back into playing some older games recently. So, I recommend giving these a check. If you've got a Game Boy Advance still, check them out if you hadn't. Or even if you have, go pick them back up. They are good. They are as good as you remember them being. So, I would definitely check them out, guys. Other than that, another good one. Let's see. Another good Game Boy Advance game. I can't think of any more right off the top of my head. I think there's a few Castlevania games for Game Boy Advance, too, that I actually do want to try myself. But there's also... there is the Mega Man 0, 1, 2, and 3 for the Game Boy Advance. Like the original OG one. And then they have the Mega Man 0, 1 through 4 collection on the DS. As well as Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent on the DS. All of which are technically in the Mega Man 0 ZX remake. Again, I definitely recommend them. They're challenging, but they're fun. So, other than that, guys, I think that's about it for today. Because I can't think of any other good Game Boy Advance games off the top of my head. I'm going to go through my collection later, see if I can find some more. But for now, that's kind of the limit. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Lunark signing off.